Pisces, last but not least, as usual, or almost, I'm doing what's troubling them. So the question is intended to figure out if there's anybody that you know that you feel has lots on their brain, that you're wondering what's going on. Could be positive as well, right? Who knows? But this is what we're exploring tonight. So we're just going to start right away. Okay, occupation. So this person's job, career, projects, whatever they do, is what is occupying most of their thoughts. Let's see how that is. The World in reverse. The Four of Swords. One more. And the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, well, there's unfinished business about something, and the person seems to be sleeping on it. But that's just one quick way of looking at these cards, right? Mind you, there could be a lot of truth in what I just said, but let's go deeper. So maybe this person feels like they're having a lack of success to a degree regarding what they do for a living, what they do as a main occupation. That's what I really want to say, whether it's what brings them revenue or not, like pays the bills, or if it's just what they do mainly. What they do, the number of hours that they invest in this is also really important. So I don't know what it is. They feel like, I don't know if it's because they have to be alone to perform this occupation. I don't know if it has to do with maybe falling sick and having to stop the occupation. Maybe that's why the World is in reverse. I don't know if it's like, and falling sick, you know, it could be just a small injury. It could be, you know, having a cold. I mean, it could be a short, small thing. It doesn't have to be a big, dire disease here, like knock on wood. So it could be along those lines with the Four of Swords. It could also be some form of, there's not enough activity related to this occupation. So let's say, you know, if you're looking at something in business and you want to have the world, so lots of people, you want to engage with a lot of people, or globally, like in a different country, or you know what I mean, like maybe not just locally, but it feels like there's not enough activity around that. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, and I want to keep coming back to that, because I do think that, and that's really important, I'm sensing that the Four of Swords is needed. So as much as it might feel unpleasant, because I don't think this person is really enjoying that, with the King of Swords in reverse, there's something that obviously is not up to par for them in terms of their occupation, in regards to having less movements and less opportunities, and maybe even a lack of success to a degree. But the time off, or the time out, or the lack of activity, or the is needed. It's not seen, but it is positive. You know, one of those situations that when you're in it, you're like, okay, this is terrible. And then only with hindsight, you realize, okay, it was perfect. You know, life is always perfect. In terms of you're always where you need to be and things are always unfolding the way they should. You need to trust that. So that's what I meant. So I really believe that this a big positive that you're just not seeing, or this person is not seeing, because again, with this reading, we're talking about them, but it could involve you. I don't know. You could decide to interchange the roles. That's all up to you. So the King of Swords is really how they're feeling about this. There's something about their ideas, the proliferation of ideas. It's almost like they're not as prolific as usual. They might not be even as connected as usual in terms of, you know, like being quick at either like responsive, even like having the right arguments, meaning the right points to win an argument or to make a case, or you know what I mean, like just to like just the right responses, I guess. And the responsiveness, which entails like the timing and like how fast you can respond, and basically how fast it is, like between what you think and how you speak it, you know, that kind of thing. So that plays in a lot here. And I think it's linked to them. It's linked to the timeout. I think the timeout is needed either to rejuvenate or clarify or nourish, you know, the well of ideas this person naturally has, or that they might be depleted from, or just the opportunities of, you know, extending themselves maybe outside of their local sphere or their usual network. This person has to work quite hard. I mean, they have to put in a lot of time. The time is really important here. You know, the world is ruled by, this is a Saturn card. Saturn is the planet that rules time in astrology. It's also what curtails, it's a planet of boundaries and limits to a degree. So you are being confined. The timeout is really imposed on you, and I think it's imposed by the universe, literally. And what's troublesome is I guess the person is reacting sort of with difficulty, right? With a little bit of disbelief and a little bit of, they're not too happy with, you know, they're quite grumpy about, you know, having to stay put, you know, especially if it has to do with being sick, maybe. That really cuts their flow, and it really, they're not used to that, you know. They're used to being able to, you know, the King of Swords can actually go where he wants to, when he wants to. He's air, so he has this ability of fitting everywhere, of wanting to travel many places, right? He's quite fluid in that way. Not through water, through air, but it's still fluidity, if you know what I mean. So it's not just thoughts, it's also physical movement. That's important here. So this person is, what I'm basically saying is they love freedom, and their freedom is being quote unquote temporarily taken away or curtailed or limited, impacted. And that's really, really troublesome for them, especially when it comes to their occupation, because I think that they spend many, many hours. They need many hours to develop what they develop, to create what they create. I don't think it comes like, even if they have a speed of thought to speech ability, I think that what they actually create takes more time. And that's also the Saturn piece on the World card. So let's look at the guidance and see this one. Ask for help from others. So especially if this person is in a situation where they have to take some time off, take some time out, but maybe the work has to keep going. Maybe they need some help for, you know, mini helpers like the Santa Claus, so that they can, the work gets done. Or just help for them in their situation if they do need help when they're healing, plain and simple. I'm going to say something for this King of Swords, especially because he's in reverse. That's going to be difficult. Asking for help and receiving help is going to be difficult for this person. I warn you. I nicely warn you, but I do warn you. They're going to have a hard time with that. Anyways, Pisces, that's the message for tonight. I know it's specific. I knew it would be, so it might not be your story. I understand that. So hopefully it was. So I hope it resonated, maybe even a little bit. If you like the video, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share, of course. That would be really cool. And subscribe, and mostly come back. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye.